Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with simpleroptions.com, and in tonight's free video I wanted to share some ideas with you in Tesla. I come back and look at the indexes and I think, of all the places that I want to come in and try to get short, clearly the indexes are not one of them, but then you come over to individual stocks like Tesla, and I think that there's much more of a case to be made for this to the downside. Now, to be fair and to cover all of my levels with you, it is worth pointing out that we are respecting some weekly symmetry at the moment, which is to say the decline that we have seen from 389.61 down into these recent lows does have some relationships with these declines that you have seen previously. That's what each of these levels are showing you. It's just comparing the declines we've seen previously to try to get an idea for, maybe we go through something similar. So to one degree, you could point to the support that has come through at these most recent lows. But what I do is look at that and say, okay, that's a fair area to be getting the bounce from, but this weekly squeeze has fired short. And I just try not to overthink these things. I love Tesla, I love the company, but this chart is bearish and it's giving me signals that are setting up to the short side. Now at the same time, I know that there has been a whole campaign, or whatever you want to call it, this group of people that has been focusing on shorting Tesla has been had been getting their heads ripped off. How do I make sure that I don't find myself in that same situation? Well, I come back and define my risk off the daily chart. So I have this idea that Tesla's going to be moving lower, and we've retraced back up into the 21 EMA on the daily chart, and you can also see how drilling down into a little bit more micro work and taking your most recent swing high to swing low and running the 618 retracement of that point, look how on that third day, and I'll zoom in on it here real quick, but it's right here, this third bar, the high of that move was 318.23, and that 618 retracement came in at 318.30. So I feel like this is an area to start considering some short plays. I'm going to be looking at a couple of those in the premium video, and as we get into tomorrow, on different ways you can define your risk to try and participate in this. But the way I'm going to define the risk on it is to say that if we close up above those levels, then I'll have to revisit it. But as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm going to be watching these smaller time frame charts, namely the 39, and seeing if we can break some of these previous swing lows and see the grouping of squeezes that we have here start to echo what is happening on the weekly chart. So, I'm not coming out and saying directly buy puts. I'm going to focus on a couple butterfly strategies that we will be looking at, and if those levels are breached, well, I'll take my loss and move on. But in this market, I think it makes sense to have something to at least entertain the idea of shorting, and that's one place that I'll be looking at that as we get into the fresh week post-holidays. So, I hope that's helpful, and we'll see you at the next free video.